Okay. For example, ambitious, 'di ba? Sometimes we are ambitious to be a professional teacher, to be a nurse, 'di ba? You want to be a nurse, you want to be a teacher. So ito yung mga wini-wish natin for us. And then self-worth. So ideal self is that we need to find also our self-worth. So, worth it ba na mag-stay ka sa isang bagay na 'to na hindi mo fashion? Worth it ba? You're asking yourself, self-worth. Okay, so anong pinagkaiba ng dalawang 'to? The ideal self is the model na nilo-look up mo or wini-wish mo or pini-pray mo. Si real self is the actualization. So meaning, itong it is about your true self, authentic self. So, pinipili mo yung sarili mong fashion. Okay? So, that is the real self. Now, let's talk about self-concept. So, pag sinabi nating self-concept, it's referring to how we see and think about ourselves. So, the way we perceive ourselves, o ano ba yung perspective natin na kailangan nating buuin. We need to build our own self-concept. Pero minsan, kapag na-build mo na 'to, mahihirapan ka ng baguhin kasi you already build your own. However, kapag nakaka-encounter tayo ng mga informations or experiences that are not consistent with our self-concept, minsan hindi natin ina-accept kasi we believe that's our own perspective or own concept. We tend to deny sometimes, nire-reject natin, we don't listen, pero nire-reject natin. So upon sa pag-aaral ni Roger, sinuggest niya na meron daw dalawang important aspect ang sarili. So that is the real and the ideal self. To discuss more, sabi ko nga kanina, it is, we see ourselves, it's the self that feel most true to what and who we are really. It may not be perfect. It's not part of us that feel most real. So ito yung makikita mo yung sarili mo na imperfect ka. You true with yourself. Example, hindi mo to kayang gawin but hindi mo talaga kaya. So you're being true to yourself. Tama? And then the other word is kapag si real self mo tsaka si ideal self ay very similar experience, ang tawag doon ay congruence. So kung si real self mo at saka si ideal nag-meet and they are the same, that is congruent. Si ideal self naman referring to the view or the wishes that you want to be or attributes. Maari ito ay attribute or usually positive that people aspire to possess. So maganda naman pala sa ideal self kasi we are looking to be inspired. Okay? So that's why gusto ko maging katulad ni ganito, ni Manny Pacquiao, 'di ba? He is a popular boxer. So mga ganong wish or pray. When there is a great inconsistency naman between the ideal and the real self, so ang tawag doon is incongruence. Minsan hindi sila nagtatama and sometimes it's not healthy. Okay, so hindi sila both nag-agree. So that is incongruence. Okay? Now, let's talk about the fake self and the true self. So dito pa lang, we discuss the outer layer is to protect. Okay, so the outer layer can protect us from the childhood. So, poprotektahan ka ng fake layers na to from the childhood stage. But again, the true self reveal in the right time. So, it's a mother-infant relationship. So, ang nakakaalam di ba ito yung outer skin ng onions? Ngayon, makikita mo na very purple yan. Tapos, yan yung i-remove mo, di ba, bago ka maghiwa. Then, when you cut into two, ito yung pinaka true self niya. Yan pala yung itsura niya. Okay, so sa true self, it is a relationship between the mom and the infant or the baby. Okay, so baby and mother. So it's a baby and mom. So let's talk about more. Ano bang content ng dalawang concept na to? So let's say true and the false selves. So according to Donald Woods Winnicott, he was an English psychoanalyst who conceptualized the idea of the true and false selves. So sabi niya dito, the true self is based on our authentic experience as a person. So yung true self daw is based on the experiences na pinagdadaanan natin. It's similar din siya kay Roger concept of the real self. The feeling of alive, doing things that you want to do, just being yourself, compromise to the true self. So, ang false self naman, which is, it refers to fake self. So, ibig sabihin, it's fake. So, tumutukoy naman to dun sa fake, pagiging fake. Fake or superficial self. So, is our defense again the vulnerabilities and imperfections of our real self. Our true self may have its own share of blemishes and weaknesses. So lahat tayo may tinatagong mga weaknesses, mga blemishes na kung saan pumapasok siya dito sa false self concept. So, kung mapapansin niyo sa stage na to, yung mga bata pa kayo, ina-hide ng nanay niyo. Oy, sasabihin ng nanay mo, "Mommy, mommy, yan sabi po nung ano, ang pangit ko daw." Ang sasabihin naman ni nanay mo is, sasabihin niya, "Hindi, kaya sa akin, para sa akin, ikaw ang pinakamaganda at gwapo ko, anak." Okay, so that's how the parents cover up yung mga imperfections natin. So that's an example. So other one is during the early infancy when we are controlled by our parents or even the mga caregivers na nag-aalaga sa atin. As we grow old, we thought different rules imposed by our family. So mapapansin niyo yan every year nagbabago yung rules sa bahay, even sa school and even in society. So doon nai-impose bawal ang ganito, bawal ang ganyan. So mayroong ini-impose na mga rules. So we are being controlled by by our parents or sometimes yung mga taong nasa school din, even the society, we're being controlled by our friends. So what are those instances? So when it's necessary for the self to take over a certain situation. For instance, we need to follow the norms of conduct in a various setting. If we show the false self because of the forced compliance to other, then this may be unhealthy. For example, niyaya ka ng friend mo mag-inom sa let's say, sa isang bar. And then, dahil kaibigan mo siya, you have to be with them, pakikisama. So, kahit ayaw mo, you have to be into false self, meaning you are forced yourself to comply what's the other instructed you. Diba? So, ganun siya. We are controlled sometimes by the good people and by the bad people around us. Okay? So, yun po yung false self. Somehow, pwede siyang maging positive, pwede rin siyang maging negative. So, there is advantages and positive sa false self na to. Kaso nga lang may mga times na na-abuse din yung pagiging we try to adopt in the new norms in our social setting. So dapat you also need to be balanced. Okay? Next one, the self as proactive and agentic. So under Albert Bandura, si Albert daw is a psychologist and he talks about more on social cognitive theory of learning. So this deal with the human behavior can be learned not only experience through one experience, so but also to experiences of other people. So hindi lang daw sa ikaw matututo sa karanasan mo, but also from Okay, based on Albert Bandura concept, we can simply observe our called models. So we have models, so or learn from them. So sometimes we are not just learning from our own experiences, but we also learn from the other people experiences, right? So to give you one example, one of the concept of Albert Bandura is agentic self. Is one who does not live life passively, but one who acknowledges his or her capacity to shape one lives. So in life, we will always find ourselves in life changing crossroad and deciding which road to take can be tough. So in short, ang agentic self is we need to acknowledge our capacity that we can shape one life. So it's like a life changing crossroad and whatever you choose, dapat marating mo yon. Okay, so mahirap man, but you have no choice but to continue and finish the race. For some, they are just let other people decide for them. 'Di ba? Yung iba naman, leave it all faith to God. So, yung iba by faith, talagang they have to leave it to God. Okay, so, but the other one, they have to do a move that they have to reach a particular time or age. Ito, dapat may bahay na ako, dapat may ganito na ako. 'Di ba? So, ganun yung agentic self. So, agentic person, paano naman yung agentic person? So, nire-recognize na yung fact na siya ay gumagawa ng isang desisyon and has the ability to go through with the consequences of one choices. Ibig sabihin, this person has the ability to decide ano man yung gusto niyang gawin. And whatever the result, he or she will accept kung ano man yung output noon. So they do not just let life happen to them. So they actively live their lives and make their lives count. Okay, so kinakount nila, they value whatever happens to them, whether good or bad, they count it. Okay? So ganun yung mga agentic person. Now, let's discuss being proactive naman. So, this person has the capacity to acknowledge and grab the opportunity that may help improve oneself in life in general. So, meaning kahit mahirap yung isang bagay, this person is willing to learn the opportunity in order for him or her to improve her or his ability. For instance, yung mga estudyante na 'di ba, kapos or may merong financial difficulty, hindi naging hadlang 'yun para makapagtapos sila ng pag-aaral. Instead, they're trying to find job through service crew, 'di ba? Yung iba nagpa-part-time. So, they do it kasi they have the goal na kailangan kong matapos yung dreams ko na 'to. So, being a gentle and proactive student will not let such setback stop him or her from achieving what she wants. The student may look for means to address financial difficulty, such as scholarship grants or part-time jobs. So meaning, itong mga taong to from agentic and proactive, they have a positive perspective in life. So even it's bad, they're trying their best to be in a positive. Okay? Then agentic and proactive self naman is not easily to discourage when we face challenges. So whatever challenges they've been experiencing, they believe that no matter how big the problem, it may seems to be hard, but they're trying to overcome it. So ang tawag doon ay self-efficacy. So there is self-efficacy to attain or to achieve a particular goal so that I have my self-efficacy. So yun yung dapat nating matutunan. You should have the self-efficacy. So ang agentic and proactive self, they